Hello, everyone. Welcome to another English vocabulary podcast episode here on High Level Listening. Have you ever had two choices in front of you and then you spent forever trying to make a decision? And maybe you even changed your mind at the last second?
Yes, I know, I definitely have. But do you know how to talk about changing your mind or thinking hard about choices in real conversational English? Today, we're talking about making decisions, and we've got two short stories, one in British English with me and one in American English with Kat. And they're both packed with natural B1 and B2 vocabulary that native speakers really use.
So, you're going to hear lots of great phrases, but not just in a list. You're going to hear them in our stories. Phrases like make up your mind, go with your gut, weigh your options, think it over, and second thoughts.
Yeah, and we've made you a free Making Decisions vocabulary list to go with today's lesson as well. You can download it from the link below and keep the phrases and study them later.
And if you really like this video and you enjoy learning vocabulary through these conversational stories and these classes with us, there's a lot more waiting for you in our study guide called My Year of English Vocabulary. And we have over 100 everyday topics for you to improve your naturally spoken everyday vocabulary to sound more natural in English.
Okay, well, let's get into our stories then. Kat will go first, like always. Kat, are you usually quick to make up your mind, or do you like to weigh your options first?
Oh, I mean, I definitely prefer to weigh my options rather than just make a spur of the moment decision. So, like last month, I'd narrowed it down to two places for a weekend trip, but I kept going back and forth. I dragged my feet so long. Actually, I had to make a split-second decision before they got booked up and just went with the place that sounded more relaxing. Uh, Actually, now maybe I'm having second thoughts. Maybe I jumped the gun on that one.
Oh, wow. Yes, guys. Sounds like you need this trip. You
I
need this
know. I,
vacation.
I need to just go somewhere relaxing. Yeah. All right. So even if you didn't understand every single phrase in that, don't worry. We're going to chat about them in a little bit. Let me ask Mark. Mark, do you usually go with your gut or do you prefer to think things over?
I'm definitely someone who tends to go with my gut. That's just my personality. I don't like to mull things over. A few weeks ago, I was choosing a new pair of trainers, and I really liked two pairs. And after trying them on, I trusted my instincts and picked one pair before I could overthink it. I had a few second thoughts at the till, but I didn't change my mind, and I stuck with my decision.
Oh, I could learn something from that decision-making process.
Right. So, like always, don't worry if you didn't catch everything. We're about to go through them once more. We'll start with Kat's story first. So, are you usually quick to make up your mind, or do you like to weigh up your options?
Honestly, I definitely prefer to weigh my options rather than just make a spur of the moment decision. Okay, so you'll hear that one again. I definitely prefer to weigh my options rather than just make a spur of the moment decision. Okay, so I'm using the word prefer. So I prefer this rather than that. Okay, that means I choose number one and I don't like number two. So I definitely prefer to weigh my options. Now, if you weigh something, Weigh, if you weigh something, you see how much it weighs. Okay, so pounds, kilograms. But if you're going to weigh your options, it's kind of thinking, oh, I could do this. Oh, well, I could do that. Here's another choice. So I'm thinking about my choices. I'm weighing my options. And no, we don't say weighing my choices. Yeah, this phrase, let's keep these words together. I weigh my options. I'm weighing my options, meaning I'm thinking about all the choices. So I prefer to weigh my options rather than just make a spur of the moment decision. If you're going to make a choice, make a decision, be careful in English, we use make. I know a lot of languages, they use take. Make a decision, make a choice, but we're going to make a spur of the moment decision. A spur of the moment. That means it happened just like that. Oh, yes. Oh, which one do you like between the, yeah, that one. So at the spur of the moment is happening right now, immediately, right away. Okay. So I definitely prefer to weigh my options rather than just make a spur of the moment decision.
Yeah, I like that phrase, a spur of the moment decision. It sounds very fun and spontaneous. Like you meet someone who went on a trip and they say, oh, yes, we just saw a cheap flight to Spain. So we went on a little spur of the moment trip. Like you just decided, you didn't think too much and you went off and had fun. So, what kind of decisions do you tend to take your time with?
Well, okay, like last month, I'd narrowed it down to two places for a weekend trip, but I kept going back and forth. So, okay, like last month, I'd narrowed it down to two places for a weekend trip, but I kept going back and forth. Okay, so you have lots of decisions, lots of options to make, right? But I'm going to narrow it down. Oh, I want to go to Paris. I want to go to Rome. I want to go to Miami. I want to go to New York. No, let's narrow it down. Okay, if I narrow something down, I'm going to cut off other choices. No, no, no. Okay, these two. So I'd narrowed it down. So if you make something narrow, it's wide and then it's narrow. I'd narrowed it down to two places for a weekend trip. Maybe I wanted to go to 10 different places, but I narrowed it down to two places for a weekend trip. But I kept going back and forth. If you are feeling a little indecisive, then you might go back and forth. Oh, I kept going back and forth. Well, this sounds nice. Oh, but that one sounds good too. Well, we could, well, actually, so I can't make a decision. I keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like on a swing. This one, or maybe this. Oh, this one. So, like last month, I'd narrowed it down to two places for a weekend trip, but I kept going back and forth.
Oh, wow. So, what finally helped you choose?
Well, if I'm honest, I dragged my feet so long, I had to make a split-second decision before they got booked up. If I'm being honest, I dragged my feet so long, I had to make a split-second decision before they got booked up. So I dragged my feet. I dragged my feet. Now, I can think of this literally, like when your little kids don't want to do something, they take their feet and they drag them. They drag them. Stop dragging your feet. Let's go. So when you drag your feet, you're specifically trying to go slow, or you're trying to put off making a decision. I'm sorry, I'm dragging my feet on this. It's time to make a decision. Stop dragging your feet. Let's go, let's go. Okay, so I dragged my feet so long, I had to make a split-second decision. Okay, so a split-second decision sounds similar to making a decision in the spur of the moment. Okay, a split second. It sounds like instead of one Mississippi, two Mississippi, fast, right? So instead of 1 second, two, no, you have to make a decision right now. Let's make a split-second decision. Go. Yes. Oh, okay. No, me. I don't know. So I dragged my feet so long, I had to make a split-second decision before they got booked up. So remember, I was deciding, right? And it was getting closer and closer to the time, and I was afraid that there wouldn't be any space. So I had to make that split-second decision before they got booked up.
Yeah, that's another good phrase, a split second decision. Sounds like a quick decision you have to make under pressure. Like I often hear it in sports, like there's a lot of pressure on you. Other players are coming at you. You have to make a split second decision to go left or go right. And it can change everything, this split second decision. So it's a stressful time. And which one did you go with?
Well, we just went with the place that sounded more relaxing, right? It sounds like this just planning this trip was a little bit exhausting and stressful for me. So I just went with the place that sounded more relaxing. When you go with something, I'd go with the blue. Let's go with the third one. When you go with something, you're choosing. Okay, so we went with we went with the place that sounded more relaxing. That means I chose the place that sounded more relaxing.
Okay. And are you happy with your choice now?
I don't know, maybe I'm having second thoughts. All you Everybody has that really indecisive friend, right? And so then when they do make a decision, maybe they have second thoughts. So we usually use I'm having second thoughts, meaning I made a decision, but now I kind of regret it. Should I have done that? I I guess I'm not confident. I'm not confident in my decision. I'm having second thoughts. Maybe I felt confident because I had to book something quickly, but now I'm having second thoughts. All right, excellent. So we're going to go through the entire conversation one more time.
So, Kat, are you usually quick to make up your mind, or do you like to weigh up your options?
I definitely prefer to weigh my options rather than just make a spur of the moment decision.
Okay. Well, what kind of decisions do you tend to take your time with?
So, okay, like last month, I narrowed it down to two places for a weekend trip, but I kept going back and forth.
Okay. What made you finally choose?
Well, I dragged my feet so long, I had to make a split-second decision before they got booked up.
Okay. And which one did you go with?
Well, I just went with the place that sounded more relaxing.
Okay. And are you happy with your choice now?
Yeah, maybe I'm having second thoughts. No. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Nice.
All right, so it's time for Mark's conversation. So we learned tons of vocabulary. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys this whole list, and you can find it in the description below. That way you can download the whole list and have it easily at your fingertips. So here we go, Mark. Do you usually go with your gut, or do you prefer to think things over?
I'm definitely someone who tends to go with my gut. I'm definitely someone who tends to go with my gut. This is a really good phrase if you want to talk about your personality or your character. I'm definitely someone who tends to do something. It means I usually do this, or I usually behave this way. So I'm definitely someone who tends to relax on the weekends, or I'm definitely someone who tends to speak my mind honestly. And me, I'm definitely someone who tends to go with my gut. So this is really the opposite of Kat. Kat spent a lot of time weighing up her options, thinking of the good and bad of each one and taking time. But I go with my gut. Your gut is actually your stomach. And in English, maybe other cultures, we think that your stomach has your most honest and pure thoughts and
Mm.
feelings. Like if you feel it in your gut, it's coming from a very deep and sincere, real place. And you can think with your head and think logically and think about facts and information, but your gut is a much more pure, faster, and maybe less conscious decision. So it's the opposite of weighing everything up and taking your time. You go with your gut. Don't think too much. Just choose. Go. Listen to your body.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wish I could do that.
That's just my personality. I don't like to mull things over. But we have a special word for think. I can think it over. I'm like, okay, interesting idea. I'll think it over means I will take some time to think about it, decide if it's good or bad. The other word is mull,
Mull.
M-U-L-L. Yeah, if you mull it over. Is this something you say in the US or is this more British?
Not as often. I'll just give you some time to think things over, mull it over a little bit. Um, I definitely have heard people say it, but I feel like it's a little bit more British.
Right. Yeah, maybe job interviews or job offers. They'll be like, take some time, just mull it over. Like these are important decisions, so don't take them lightly. But I don't like to mull things over. Over sounds like I'm thinking again and again, and
Hmm.
I'm taking time and time and time. And yeah, I don't like to mull things over.
So if you don't really like to do that, can you kind of give me an example of that?
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I was choosing a new pair of trainers, and I really liked two pairs. So a few weeks ago, I was choosing a new pair of trainers and I really liked two pairs. So I was choosing a new pair of trainers. In the UK, trainers are sneakers or sports shoes, Nike, Adidas, Reebok, those ones usually are white for running, for doing exercise, going to the gym. Those are trainers. And I was choosing. You can use this as a continuous verb. I was shopping, I was looking, or I was buying, and I was choosing. So I was in a shoe store and I was looking at two different pairs and I liked them both. So that was a decision I had to make.
Oh, how did you choose which ones you wanted to buy?
After trying them on, I trusted my instincts and picked one pair before I could overthink it. So after trying them on, I trusted my instincts and picked one pair before I could overthink it. So when you're looking to buy shoes, the first thing you do is try them on, as in put them on and see if they're comfortable and they fit. And I trusted my instincts. Just like go with my gut, trust my instincts is the same thing. We seem to think that your instincts and your honesty lives in your gut, in your stomach. You can follow your instincts or trust your instincts. It's again when you don't think about it too much. And if you think about it too much, you overthink it. So I trusted my instincts before I could overthink. Again, over has the negative part of it. If you put over before a verb, it's usually bad. Like you overspend, overpay is paying too much. Overthink is thinking too much. So much that it becomes bad and it actually, there's more negatives than positives.
So you chose a pair. Are you happy with your choice?
I had a few second thoughts at the till, but I didn't change my mind and I stuck with my decision. So I had a few second thoughts at the till, but I didn't change my mind and I stuck with my decision. So I'm using the same phrase as Kat, second thoughts. And you have second thoughts. And in the past tense, I had a few second thoughts. Maybe I put the second pair back and I saw them in the box and thought, oh no, I'll never wear them. Are these the best shoes? Am I maximizing my choice? Are these the best possible shoes I could
Too many
possibly buy?
choices. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I had a
Paralyzed
few,
with choice.
yeah, right. And then second thoughts, especially with shopping and making big decisions. Yeah, this is a way to talk about regrets, as Kat said. I had a few second thoughts. Well, maybe, but I didn't change my mind. Change my mind is a very common phrase. You could say change my choice. That's okay. Didn't change my decision, but change my mind. Even
Yeah.
if you're buying a physical object or a physical product, my mind is made up. I will not change my mind. And then I stuck with my decision. That's the past of stick with my decision. I made a choice and I will stick to it. So I will not change it. Stick means do not change. So stick to your lane, stick to your decision. I stuck with my decision and I bought those shoes.
All right. So let's hear that whole conversation once more. So, Mark, do you normally go with your gut or do you like to think things over?
I'm definitely someone who tends to go with my gut.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Not like me, but
That's just my personality. I don't like to mull things over.
what do you mean by that? Can you give me an example?
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I was choosing a new pair of trainers and I really liked two pairs.
So, how did you choose which ones to buy?
After trying them on, I trusted my instincts and picked one pair before I could overthink it.
And are you happy with your choice?
I had a few second thoughts at the till, but I didn't change my mind and stuck with my decision.
I feel like I am completely the opposite. I would be sitting there just kind of weighing my options. And then probably what would happen to me is I wouldn't buy anything. And I would just go home and be unhappy that I still didn't buy any
Be shoeless,
sneakers.
right? And then
Yeah.
read 1,000 reviews online and try to
Yeah.
find something wrong with one pair so it's easier.
I
I
know.
know.
I know. It's just too much. It's overwhelming. The choices are overwhelming, I think. All right. So today you heard lots of different ways to talk about decisions and making choices.
Yeah, from Kat's story, we heard phrases like make up your mind, weigh your options, spur of the moment decision, narrow it down, back and forth, and go with something.
And from Mark's story, you heard phrases like go with your gut, think things over, mull things over. When you're overthinking things, you got to trust your instincts, okay? Or don't have those second thoughts.
Yeah, so please let us know, what are you like? Think about your own life. Are you like me and you tend to go with your gut? Or are you more like Kat, where you weigh up your options and spend time thinking things over?
So we'd love to hear from you, and we hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to grab the free vocabulary list for this episode. It's going to be in the link below. You're going to go to the My Year of Vocabulary. What's it called? My Year of English Vocabulary.
My year of English vocabulary.
So it's going to take you to the My Year of English Vocabulary Study Guide, and you'll be able to download it in the free preview.
Yeah, if you like learning this way, where you're not just learning or memorizing individual words, but learning phrases that people use in real conversations, that's exactly what we created My Year of English Vocabulary for.
Inside, you'll learn 2,400 useful words and phrases across over 100 real life topics with both American and British English, so you can steadily build your vocabulary throughout the entire year.
That's right. Yeah, so many words and units. That's about 200 new words or phrases every month. And that's covering everyday life, feelings, work, relationships, travel, all kinds of topics.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more natural American and British English with me, Kat, and Mark here on High Level Listening.
Bye-bye.